I pre-farmed for Miyabi. I got her seals, I got her W engine parts, I even went so far as to get enough freeze chips that, had I not spent the original chips that I had, I would have had enough to max most of her skills. But I did. So what changed? Because I'm not pulling Miyabi anymore. This isn't the first time that I've pre-farmed for a character and then changed my mind. Jane was the first case of this. Initially, I thought that maybe she'd have some synergy with Jian, or maybe she'd just be really fun because she's the first limited anomaly character. And in the end, when Bernice was drip marketed and I really thought about whether I liked Jane's design or not, the answer was, no, I don't really like Jane that much, so I should go for Bernice instead. And even though they end up filling completely different roles in most teams, none of the pre-farm went to waste. All the resources that I farmed for Jane could go straight into Bernice. So there's nothing lost. This time with Miyabi, it's a little bit different. I've gone almost all the way. And now, right when Miyabi is about to be released, I'm changing my mind. Why? Thanks to the addition of Deadly Assault, we're anticipating a 3-team meta going forward. Despite only needing 2 teams to collect all the polychromes, I wouldn't be surprised if that changes in the future. That being said, there's no rush to fill out our 3rd team, and even though Miyabi is a great option, I'd have to pick apart my Yanagi Bernice team to make use of her. I love playing Yanagi with Bernice, and since we don't have any other anomaly characters that I want to play, it doesn't really make sense for me to pull for a 3rd that will either sit on the bench or bench one of my existing S ranks. Looking at my account, the best option is probably to hope that I get Runa sometime soon and use Lucy and Lighter together with Miyabi. And while I wouldn't mind using this team, if I really needed a 3rd team, I could pull Soldier 11 out of the basement, or even consider pulling for Evelyn when she comes out. Speaking of Evelyn, let's address the big news. Astra and Evelyn, the new characters that were drip marketed over the past couple of days. Evelyn is the fire attacker that Light has been looking to support, while Astra Yao is the first limited support character in the game. If we're looking at history, Astra is likely to be a really strong character. Both Genshin Impact and Honkai Star Rail's first supports ended up being incredibly strong, meta-defining characters that are still a part of many of the best teams. We don't know Astra's kit, so we can't say for sure. However, if you have a favourite team that you could use an upgrade, she's likely to be much stronger than our A-rank supports. As with all characters, she probably won't be a must-pull. But if her buffs are stronger than Caesar's, then she'd probably be one of the highest priority pulls. Astra and Evelyn aside, Miyabi does still look like she'll be the strongest character in the game. She also has relatively strong free-to-play and new player options, so I expect her to scale well into the future. If Astra has any kind of universal buffing, I expect her to also elevate any Miyabi team if you can afford to pull for both. Of course, playstyle and design are factors you have to consider when deciding whether to pick up a new unit. Design is the easier one to answer, and I for one love Miyabi's animations and skills, but that's where the excitement ends for me personally. I think her design is nice, but it doesn't compete with my favourites. Playstyle is a bit harder to judge, since I only have gameplay footage to guess at, but from what I can tell, Miyabi requires keen attention to the anomaly bar, as well as Frostfall generation and well-timed charge attacks. I know some of you would much prefer to pick up Evelyn over Miyabi, or even invest further into support like Astra, so that she can carry your account long term. Or maybe you're like me and you have a Yanagi, but you really enjoy her playstyle with Bernice as the main DPS. Whatever the reason, I'm here to tell you, it's okay to skip Miyabi. She isn't going to be meta-breaking, game-breaking, or a must-pull, unlike a lot of the clickbait titles you might have been seeing. Her damage might be a bit higher than the current strongest team, but when even Billy and Anton can clear Shiyu defense, you don't need the strongest team. Plus, she'll need her signature W engine to be stronger than her competitors. Without it, her clear times should be comparable or slightly worse than other teams. So yeah, long story short, pull who you want and build around your favourite characters. If Miyabi isn't one of them, skip her. I haven't decided yet whether I want to get both Astra and Evelyn, but I know for sure that while Miyabi is cool, I don't want her enough to justify spending my pulls on her. What about you? Let me know in the comments down below what your plan is. Leave me a like and sub if you enjoyed, and I'll see you later.